I've been seeing a lot of noise and hype about some of the popular business models to start, but in this video, I will tell you what businesses I would never start if I had no experience or no capital. Number 1, retail stores. In 2023, the idea of launching a traditional brick and mortar retail store may seem appealing, but the romantic vision of customers strolling down aisles, interacting with products, and receiving in-person service is enticing, but sadly, this vision is quickly becoming a relic of the past. And here are my reasons. Firstly, the e-commerce boom. More people are shopping from their couch, enjoying the convenience of wider variety and usually better deals than in retail stores. Between 2019 and 2021, online sales shot up 44%. Physical stores just can't keep up. Number 2, you've got changing consumer behavior. Since the pandemic, people just got used to shopping online. Even your grandma probably feels comfortable shopping online now. Number 3, costs are piling up. Running a physical store isn't cheap. Rent, utilities, insurance, property taxes, and the cost of stocking their inventory, all of these costs can eat into your profits. Online sellers can skip most of these because their business is online. Number 4, you've got time and physical effort. Unlike an online store that can mostly run itself with software and automation, a physical store needs your constant attention. You'll be juggling inventory, customers, cash handling, cleaning, and the list goes on. It's a recipe for burnout. Number 5, you've got risks. If there's a disaster, a crime, another pandemic, let's hope that doesn't happen. If any of these happen, your whole business could go under. But with an online store, you've got less to lose. Number 6 is the lack of flexible shopping hours. Online shopping allows customers the convenience to shop 24/7, a flexibility that physical stores usually can't offer. Physical retail stores have a limited reach, typically within a few miles of their geographical location, whereas an online e-commerce business can serve customers globally, which significantly increases their potential reach. Retail isn't what it used to be. Setting up a shop in 2023 could be like trying to plug a hole in a sinking ship. You might be better off using your money, time, and energy setting up an online store, unless what you're selling needs to be experienced in person, in which case there could be a good use case for that. The next business I definitely wouldn't start is ATMs. Most people don't even know that this is a thing, but there's a trend about ATM businesses and you might want to sit down for this. ATM machines used to give historically decent returns, but things are changing fast, and not in a good way. Here's some eye-openers I think you should know about. When we think ATMs, we think cash, and cash equals a good business, no? But here's where things get a little twisted. On the surface, an ATM business seems like a great idea. You buy the machine, find a high foot traffic location, and just sit back whilst the cash rolls in from all of these transaction fees, right? No. See, first up, you've got its usage. On average, an ATM is used only about 3 to 5 times per day. Not hundreds, not dozens, but just a handful. And considering the average ATM withdrawal is about 80 to 100 pounds, from which you only receive 1 to 3%, the daily revenue quickly looks less promising. And now, we're in a digital revolution. We're swiftly moving towards a cashless society, and people are reaching for their digital wallets and swiping their contactless cards more than ever. You got crypto, tap and go cards, phone wallets, and payment apps like PayPal and Apple Pay, which are way more convenient, making ATMs just less relevant. And of course, we can't ignore the ongoing costs. You've got maintenance, security, replenishing cash. These aren't one-off costs. They cut your profits. And then you've got to find a lucrative location for your ATM if you want a real chance at making a decent return. And that in itself could feel like finding a needle in a haystack. And if you thought that's bad, let's get into the operational details. ATMs are cash-based machines, meaning they require constant replenishing. Depending on the volume of transactions, this could mean a visit from an armored car service, or once or even multiple times a week. And each visit can cost you around $20 or more, quickly eating into your already slim profits. Then you've got the risk of damage and theft, because ATMs can get smashed, stolen, or vandalized, so you'll need to factor in insurance costs to cover your bag. And obviously, this means it attracts scammers and fraudsters, so keeping your ATM safe with top-notch security can really burn a hole in your pocket. And because of all this, they're highly regulated. Governments are cracking down on cash to fight shady activities. More rules means more headaches and possibly legal risks if you own ATMs. And finally, let's look at the payback period. For an ATM business, the payback period is incredibly long. After analyzing multiple funds in the space, they typically don't start paying investors until 4 years later. An individual ATM won't even hit break even until after 7 years. Imagine investing $1,500 to $10,000 per machine, only to have to wait 7 years to recoup your costs. Not the quickest return on investment, that's for certain. The next business I wouldn't start is an Amazon FBA. If you're thinking of jumping into the Amazon FBA bandwagon in 2023, you might want to reconsider. And yes, this video will probably contradict most advice you've seen and heard from many successful Amazon FBA business owners. However, let me bring you into a little secret. Just because they tell you it's a great business doesn't mean that's how they're making their living. It may be a great way starting out, but more often than not, they probably reached a cap on their business and have moved on to a different business model since. But obviously, they won't tell you that, so I will. Having said that, this is not a bad business model at all compared to the others on my list. However, since very few others will tell you, here's why I believe Amazon FBA isn't as great of a business model as you might first thought. Firstly, you've got increasing competition. E-com is booming, and so is competition on Amazon. With tons of sellers scrambling for attention, standing out and turning a profit can be tough. You've got high fees. Using Amazon FBA isn't free. You've got storage fees, fulfillment fees, and referral fees for every item you sell. These charges can quickly eat away at all of your profits. Then you've got to consider that you're part of Amazon's ecosystem, which means you're basically putting your business in Amazon's hands. If they change their rules or fees, it could shake up your whole business and you don't have much of a say in it. Then you've got inventory risks. You're responsible for all of the risks associated with your inventory. If your products don't sell as expected, you could be stuck with a hefty bill for long-term storage fees and a pile of stuff that you can't sell. Then you've got to handle all of the customer service problems. Amazon handles customer service for FBA products. That means you don't get a say in how your customers' issues are handled, and that could impact your customer relationships and brand image. Then you've got the issue of fakes and frauds. Counterfeit products and dishonest sellers can make it hard for your genuine products to shine. They can also hurt your brand's reputation. You also have limited branding opportunities. With FBA, it can be tricky to make your brand stand out. You don't have much control over how your products are presented or how you connect with customers. Then you've got the overcrowded market. Many product categories on Amazon are already saturated, so newcomers like yourself may find it challenging to find profitable niches without doing tons and tons of research and investing some serious cash. You've also got the risk of seizures and suspensions. So if you don't play by Amazon's rules, they could seize your product or suspend your whole account. And sometimes this could happen without a clear reason or an easy way to fight back. You might even get involved in an intellectual property dispute because Amazon Marketplace is seeing more and more complaints from customers where your listings could just get removed on your account and be suspended. You're also competing against the biggest e-commerce store out there, which is Amazon. They collect data in real time on the best performing products, and they can sell their own brand version at a fraction of your price. You're probably thinking, how is that fair? And you're right, it isn't. But what are you going to do about it? Hey Jeff, bro, knock it off. I had that product first. Jeff doesn't care, but the bottom line is Amazon FBA will still work for some already established first movers or unique sellers, but it's not a guaranteed path to success. Now, probably one of the worst businesses that I would start even if I had money is restaurants. That's because kicking off a restaurant has always been a gamble. But in 2023, the dice are loaded against you more than ever. Changes in how we eat and the aftershocks of the global pandemic have shaken up the food industry like nobody's business. Hear me out on this. Firstly, you've got shifting dining habits. The pandemic has turned us into a nation of people that love to order from the comfort of our own home on apps like Deliveroo and Uber Eats. And this shift in habit has taken a big bite out of the demand of traditional dine-in spots. Secondly, you've got the high startup costs because restaurants are expensive to start. From real estate and construction to equipment and licensing, the upfront investment can be substantial. And add to that the ongoing costs of inventory, labor, utilities, and maintenance, and it becomes apparent that a restaurant needs a huge financial commitment. Then you've got the problem of a very volatile workforce. Restaurants have always seen a lot of staff coming and going, but in 2023, it's a whole new level of crazy. The pandemic has sparked a big rethink about working conditions and pay in the industry, leading to a major shortage of dependable, skilled staff. And next, you've got all of the tight margins. Despite the high prices you see on your dinner bill and Nobu, the profit margins restaurants make are paper thin. And the National Restaurant Association reports that the average profit of a restaurant is only 3 to 5%. Then you've got all of the unexpected strikes, from food fads and economic hiccups to worldwide health issues. The restaurant business is notorious for all of these outside shocks affecting it. Who could have guessed a global pandemic would scramble the whole industry like this? We don't even know what's around the corner. Then you've got all of the stringent health regulations that restaurants have to follow. Especially now, restaurants are grappling with a whole load of health and safety regs. And and staying on top of these ever-changing regulations can really drain your time and money. But despite all of this, you've got so much increased competition. The restaurant industry is a battlefield. If you ask any restaurant owner you know, I guarantee you they will agree. You've got food delivery apps, you've got cloud kitchens and meal kit service preparation companies. The competition is stiffer than ever. Standing out in such a saturated market is definitely not going to be easy. Then you've got the eco-friendly dilemma. As society gets more eco-conscious, restaurants are under pressure to source local produce, cut waste, and shrink their carbon footprint. It's the right thing to do, but it comes with its own costs and logistical headaches. You also have to factor in all of the tech dependence, because tech has wormed its way into the restaurant experience, from online bookings and orders to touch-free payments and delivery apps. But setting up these tech tools takes time and ongoing maintenance. Restaurants also have long hours and high-pressure environments. Running a restaurant is not your typical day job, trust me. It means long hours, working weekends and holidays, and heaps of stress. The restaurant industry is notorious for burnout and churning staff. So in short, whilst the idea of owning a restaurant might seem tempting, it's a high-risk gamble with an unpredictable future. The next business I wouldn't start, similar to restaurants, is the hotel business, especially in the aftermath of the pandemic. Even with all of our progress, the echoes of the pandemic are still bouncing around the hotel industry. Travel, both international and domestic, is yet to bounce back completely, meaning fewer guests and lower profits. Then you've got changing travel behavior. Business travel used to be a huge cash cow for many hotels, and that's taken a blow as companies switch to virtual meetings and remote work. At the same time, vacation goers are now favoring quirky, unique rental Airbnbs over classic hotels. And number 3, you've got big upfront costs. Starting a hotel is incredibly expensive and definitely not something I'd recommend as a startup, especially with the hefty bills for property, construction, renovation, furniture, equipment, and so on and so forth. Plus, the running costs just for operation, upkeep, staffing is through the roof. Then you've got all of the government regulations. Just like a restaurant, hotels have to deal with constantly changing rules and regulations, from health, safety codes to alcohol licenses. And keeping on top of all of these laws and staying compliant is a major drain on your time and can be a serious hit to profit margins. Then you've got all of the cutthroat competition. The hotel game is as competitive as they come. With the rise of vacation rental platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com, and also big hotel chains looming on every corner in every big city, it makes leaving your mark nearly impossible, unless you're Grant Cardone or Donald Trump. Then you've got the fluctuating demand, meaning that revenue isn't consistent, and the hotel industry has always been famous for its seasonal demand, so some months will be good and some months not so good. Then you've got all of the tech reliance, because staying up to date with the latest tech trends in the hotel industry like digital check-ins and AI customer service demands constant learning and expenses. There's also the same eco-friendly pressures that restaurants have, because consumers and regulators are putting the spotlight on sustainability, so hotels are feeling the heat to go green. And this can mean anything from cutting waste to energy use to buying sustainable supplies, all of which can rack up extra costs. Then you've got the issue of staffing changes, and the hotel business is especially known for its revolving door of staff. That's because finding, training, and keeping a great team is a never-ending and expensive challenge. Hotels are also a health crisis hotspot because of their high foot traffic, so future pandemics or similar events could stop your operations dead in your tracks, losing you heaps of money. And during the pandemic, this caused so many hotels to close down. And obviously, hotels are a 24/7 business, so running a hotel business is an all-day, everyday gig, and this could put a ton of pressure on you as the owner. The long hours, the stress, and the risk of burning out are not to be underestimated. And when you add it all up, the hotel industry in 2023 is a minefield of major challenges. Changes in how people travel, the economic bumps in the road, and the relentless competition from newer, trendier, unique, and cheaper to run Airbnbs make the hotel business a huge gamble in my opinion. And guys, this is just some of the businesses. I'm going to be releasing another video in the future where I go into more businesses that I wouldn't start from home. And if you want to see that video, make sure you subscribe and like this video. And if you have any further questions, leave them in the comments below.